Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name is David, and this is a Magic Review. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here. My name is David, and I am a magician, a teacher, a content creator here on YouTube. And what I do is I open up boxes and tell you what's inside of them. That's right, I review stuff. I review the latest and the greatest in both magic tricks and playing cards every single day, non-stop, non-stop. You can always come back here for brand new content every single day because I love to show you guys stuff. I love to show you guys stuff, and I want you to know what your money gets you. I want you to know how your money gets spent. And so today we're going to look at words. This is words. It's a David Stone book test. It's a book test done with crossword puzzles. Yeah. So you'll have two of those little crossword puzzle books. They look like this, right? Just exactly what you'd expect to find, you know, on the shelves at your local grocery store, dollar store, teacher supply store, right? And inside, they look like, you know, crossword puzzles. And you're going to hand this to a spectator. You can let them even pick which one you want, blue one or the green one. Hand it to the spectator, have them turn to any page they want. They're going to stare at a word, and then you're going to divine that word. And best of all, you'll be able to do it again and again and again. Yeah, over and over. All right, tell me a little bit about this fabulous trick. All right, I will. It's a book test, right? Obviously, it's a book test. Book tests usually fall into the mentalism category. A little bit of work with this one, a little bit of work. Not exactly a self-worker or easy. There's some work, but the creators have kind of put everything together for you. They're giving you a lot of cribs, a lot of helps, so that's good. $70, $70 at Magic Dream Paris. Now, I will say that this is sold out pretty much everywhere else. Okay, this is an older trick, so discontinued from a lot of places, not available, still available at Magic Dream Paris. Originally, when it sold elsewhere, it was 80, so 70 at Magic Dream Paris. What's in the box? What do you get? Well, you get the two smaller hand-outable books, right? Those would be, these are for you, but they are perfectly rigged so that you could hold one back. If you wanted to hold one of these back, right, you could still do the trick because there's some cribbiness on both of these. However, the creators would like you to use your crib on the larger word search. And you would just say, well, I'm going to use this as my clipboard, right? You have your Post-it notes right here, and you're writing here as you do your clipboards. And again, it's still a legit crossword puzzle book. Nothing big about the front and the back. They're never going to find anything. How does the trick go? How does it go? I said there was multiple phases. There are. So you're going to hand the workbook out, and you're going to have them select a word, and then you're just going to divine it. Right? You'll divine it. You can have them then turn one page over, okay? And they can choose left or right. They're going to select another word in phase 2, and then you'll play a little game of hangman. You'll put a Post-it note, and you'll guess all the letters in their word. But then, of course, you'll divine it. In phase 3, you'll say, actually, while you're staring at that word, there's actually a word or a letter right after it, right? That letter's not associated with any other word, but it's just a letter hanging out all by itself, and you'll divine that. And then lastly, they'll turn to another page. You'll bring out a large blank piece of paper. You'll draw a square, and then you'll recreate the word search that they're looking at letter for letter all the way across, and you'll do that from memory. All right, so is it what I thought? I mean, it's a book test. Right? It's a book test that uses cribs, which I kind of figured it would, but it's just done around, you know, the word search framework. The tools that you use to divine the words are standard book test tools. So nothing really new here, except maybe the way in which it's framed. It is well made, right? Looks and feels like a real word search. Looks and feels like the books that they are. They're printed well. And I think that's one of the reasons why the cost is so high. You're getting 3 custom printed word search books, right? Printing is not cheap. And these are custom books that are built so that every single page gives you multiple words to choose from and multiple ways to hit those words. So even if you did this twice, you could pass the book after the first person. You could have them turn a page and then hand it to another person and then divine their word. So it would work great in a parlor setting. So that's a wonderful option too. As far as what they're going to teach you, right? Like I said, this is a booklet. You have to learn from the booklet. There's a lot going on in the routine, as you can imagine, right? A lot going on in the routine, and a lot going on in how you divine the words. It's going to rely heavily on the crib, but then also your own memory. So even though the crib is there to help you, there's multiple aspects to the crib, let's put it that way. And each one of those aspects is another part of how the words are revealed, because you're not just getting, there's not just one word it could be on any page. There's multiple force words on every page. So you need a complex crib to figure that out. Now it's all there for you, it is all there for you, but it's not just as simple as reading the crib. You've got to know how to read the crib and remember how to read the crib, right? And you got to do that all on the fly. Barely any math, barely. Single digits, really. Like 4 plus 5. That's the hardest you're going to do. So yeah, not difficult at all. Slides in difficulty level. Phishing, there is phishing involved. There is phishing. You're going to fish for the page number every single time. And you're going to fish for a question about the word. So you'll either ask for the first letter, okay, or you'll ask for how many letters, and that'll help you divine. So yes, it's not just a straight, because there's multiple ways to hit your word, right? So if there's multiple words on a page, it's not going to be as simple as, oh, you're on page 62. Oh, the word is, ox. You can't do that. There's more to it. So yes, there's phishing involved. Positives, it is a unique book test. A unique book test looks different than your standard book test. And of course it looks overwhelming because of all the different word options. I know there's less words in a crossword puzzle than there is in a standard book when you think about the options of like being able to choose any word you want from a book. But this seems so much more free, right? You can literally open to the page and say, pick a word. And they pick a word. So I guess it seems like there's more, it feels bigger. It feels bigger, even though there's some restrictions. Negatives, what are the negatives? You have to guide them to the word, okay? And to do that, they're not just looking at the top where the clues are in all, where the clues are and say you're gonna look for these words. They can't choose their word from that list. They actually have to look at the crossword puzzle. And they have to find a word in the crossword puzzle. So nothing's circled, right? You haven't found any words for them. They're gonna have to stare at a crossword puzzle and then find a word in real time. So depending on how fast they are at finding words in a crossword puzzle, that's how long you have to wait. And when they find the word, they have to double check at the top that that's actually one of the words. I mean, everybody might find dog or mom, right? Or as, right? You say, okay, after you find your word, look up at the clues and make sure the words match. But they can't do it the other way around. They can't just grab a word from the top, because not all the words from the top are in the puzzle, okay? So that's a little bit of a negative for me, just because of the delay time and explaining that to them. Like, you can't just pick any word. You have to pick a word from the crossword puzzle and you have to find that word, okay? So that could stretch out if they don't find their word right away. The other negative was, at the very beginning of the 18-page instruction sheet, there's a .com that says, hey, there's video instructions as well. That .com is no more. So there are no video instructions. So that's one of the downsides of keeping video instruction out there on the interwebs. I'm sure they're available somewhere. Maybe you could Google, I don't know. Maybe they're out there on YouTube for free. I have no idea. Maybe you could ask David Stone. I don't know. But they are not available at the .com they mentioned. Is it worth your money? $70, $70. Like I said, you're getting 3 custom printed books. And I would just offer, book tests are usually expensive. They are. So even when you get a single book, they're expensive. So in this one, you're getting 3, plus built-in cribs. So awesome. Who would like this? Obviously, mentalists. Plays well for parlor, plays well for stage. I think that's who you're looking at. But if you've been looking for Words by David Stone, it is still available. at Magic Dream Paris. And I hope I've answered some questions for you, or at least introduced you to a trick that you didn't know anything about. And if that's the case, you can always do me a favor and hit like, subscribe, and follow. Those are the appreciation buttons. That helps me, keeps me going, encourages me day after day after day. And big, huge thanks, of course, to Magic Dream Paris for allowing me to have this so that I could do the review for you. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.